Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the established 3D artist known as Ian Max, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at the sacred side of crystals. We're also going to explore the apocalyptic scenes of science fiction, so let's jump right into it. So at first sight, remember this mound of crystals set in center space here. Our first impression is one of awe due to the mystical and sacred sight before us here. And so of course, we see a majority of the composition is quite empty, right? This draws our eye to the only elements present in the composition, which is going to be in the lower lanes of the piece before us. Of course, you have that darker background, so that light on dark accent is going to make it impossible to miss here. So colors in our composition primarily consist of blue and green with a golden light on the left side here. This of course draws our eye to the rarest element in the composition. I think there's no doubt about that. And so we briefly touched on how a majority of the composition is quite empty, right? So much negative space is almost adding a sense of weight to the composition. Of course, all in all, drawing our eye to the only elements present in the scene before us. With this in mind, what do y'all see when you view this piece, or why do you think the artist has so much empty space in the composition here? And so there's no doubt that crystals are the main subject of the scene before us here. The presence of a crystalline spirit always offers an ethereal charm in all who stand before, and I think we certainly see that, right? We also see this lone subject on the left side of the composition here. He appears to be in a moment of discovery as this golden light just follows him and has a beautiful reflection on the water below. The artist actually uses this character quite a bit. I have an additional piece that I showcased from the artist. I'm going to bring that in real quick, see what we can learn. Alright, so I got an additional piece from Ian Max, and you can see the same subject in both compositions here. For example, in the first piece I ever showcased from him entitled Deserted, we see this lone subject, of course, exploring with that golden companion there. In the work before us, we see the exact same companion in this rare and amazing moment of discovery. I absolutely love to see it. I just want to bring that in real quick and kind of connect that to both subjects that we see in the works before us. So we wonder what exactly is happening, right? I was able to talk to the original artist. He gave me some insights on the scene before us. It has been ages since humanity has seen the sun. Far ago, they retreated deep underground to retreat the sun. The sun dried up everything, and this right here is one of the last life sources left for humanity. It must be maintained. It is the main source of fuel for all life that lives underground. We barely have enough light for our flowers, much less our sanity. So this is a really profound piece. I think there's no doubt about that. These crystals here are sacred in every sense of the word. They are the central axiom to which humanity now pays its debts to, right? They all live underground, and this is the only source of life which they have left. I think that's incredibly profound, and we absolutely love to study the scene before us. I actually have an additional piece from the artist Max Hay. I'm going to bring that in real quick and see what we can learn. Alright, so the reason I saved this for the end of the video is the piece on the right is not directly related to the piece on the left, but both show a moment of discovering these crystals, right? In the piece by Max Hay, we have a lone subject exploring this mine shaft and discovering this massive mound of crystals. In the work on the left, of course, today's piece by Ian Max, we have this lone subject maintaining the last crystals which pay all debt to humanity still existing. And so, regardless, both scenes show a moment of discovery in these crystals, and of course, you can see that across so many different pieces of art. We absolutely love to see it. Alright, so like I said, this is a profound piece. I think there's no doubt about that. The work before us is a digital render, so it's created with a digital rendering program. That program's going to be Blender, really an amazing high skill ceiling. I know everyone from amateurs to professionals who are using Blender to create their renders. So if y'all want to get involved in the world of 3D art, I would certainly suggest Blender. It's an amazing place to start, but regardless, it immerses us so well within the realism. Of course, the render is always highly realistic, and we love to see it here. So really hope y'all enjoyed today. We talked about so many different things from the negative space and the composition, the charm of the crystals, the sci-fi, even apocalyptic scene before us, and the realism of the digital renders. So many different things we hit on today. I truly hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all enjoyed today's episode, make sure to check out the original artist Ian Max doing some amazing stuff in the world of 3D art. He creates a lot of sci-fi and fantasy renders, and I always love to study his art. I believe this is his 5th showcase to date, so always a pleasure, and I really hope y'all enjoy it today. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.